Welcome to my first vegetable garden. Today I want to talk about cool weather crops. We had a 26-degree freeze last night. These are radishes. I'll be doing a video on radishes soon too. This is frozen solid. What I want to show you is how resilient these cool weather crops are. The leaves of the peppermint are frozen through. Peppermint leaves can handle a frost. Radishes can handle a frost. And I just want to walk around, show you the cool weather crops that are out there, how they're actually frozen. Then I'll walk back through here in a couple hours. It's going to get up to 55 today. Last night it was 26. More radishes. The leaves are actually frozen right now. This ground is not as solid as the ground that I just showed you because I watered that a day or two before. Frozen ground, frozen leaves. Taking a look at the kale. It's frozen. If I bend it, it's not going to come back. Frozen solid. Endive, frozen solid. In fact, that looks pretty scary, but you get the idea. So cool weather crops love to be planted, direct seeded, get into the ground when it's 40, 50 degrees at night. 40 degrees is great for most of the crops. They can take nights where the nights get into the 30s. They can take an occasional frost. The idea is that though you want to get these plants out when the ground is cooler. They love the cool weather. If the days are getting into the 50s, low 60s, perfect. It's a great time to plant all your cool weather crops. Spinach, frozen, leaves beat up from the cold. That is, let me think a second. That is broccoli, lettuce, that's celery, all hanging out here for several hours. It was a good 6 hours at below 32-degree temperature with the temperature actually reaching 26. More broccoli in there, and they've all taken the frost really, really well. The lettuce here, the red romaine, you know, you get the idea, the frost. All of this group actually managed the winter here. They grew through January, February obviously, and into March when their temperatures were the coldest, January and February, and they all look great. Turnips, lettuce, spinach, carrots. These plants are really resilient, and sometimes we get started later. We're waiting for the warmer temperature. We're waiting for the ground to get up to 50, 60 degrees. The days get into the 70s. That's really too warm for your cool weather crops. They're going to grow, but the warmth comes in and then the plants want to bolt, meaning they want to flower. You don't get what you want out of them. They like the cold weather. 40-degree nights, perfect for getting them outside. Occasional frost is fine. 50, 60-degree days, the cool weather crops do really well. Let's take a break, come back and see how these are this afternoon. Here's a couple really good examples. This is romaine lettuce. It is frozen all the way through. You can even hear it squeaking because it's frozen. More romaine. This is endive, that it's frozen right in there. Radish greens, frozen. This is all gonna thaw and they're gonna be perfectly fine. It's been about 6-7 hours. Temperatures are up to 50 degrees. The radishes no longer frozen, a little bit dry, needs to be watered. But the ground's no longer frozen. The radishes, perfect color, you wouldn't even know they were frozen. The color of the peppermint has changed, not frozen anymore. These plants can really take that freeze and frost. So you have perennial herbs like mints, chives, oregano, thyme. They can take a freeze, they can take a frost. Your strawberries, they can take a frost, no issue. More radishes, looking good. Radishes definitely. Coming down to the kale that we were looking at, completely fine. You know, sometimes they're going to be a little bit floppy for a day or so. Give them some water if you need to, if the ground's particularly dry, but they're going to perk back up. Sometimes the outer leaves will die off if the frosts have been pretty bad. The cold, the temperatures are fluctuating. But right in the center, everything's going to be okay. You're going to get a beautiful kale plant. So kale, endive, that all looks great. You really don't have to worry. And again, it was 26 degrees. More kale, celery's fine, lettuce is fine, Swiss chard is fine, broccoli's fine, carnations are fine. beat up. That's okay. Remember, we're just looking for the center of the plant. It's in really good shape. We'll just keep walking down. Carrots look good. The broccoli over there is fine. Cauliflower, Brussels, all cool weather crops. In the space over here, spinach, endive, arugula, cool weather crops, all great. More mature arugula plants. The flowers, by the way, are delicious. The red romaine, carrots, lettuce, turnips, you get the idea. And then finally coming over to here, we have the close-up of the lettuce that I showed you that was all frozen solid. Completely defrosted now. Looks good. Outer leaves again. Some of the leaves could get beat up. This is going to be great. Nothing to worry about. You can plant your cool weather crops now as transplants. They can take a frost. If you can avoid it, try and avoid it, but you don't have to wait till the frost is gone. You can also direct seed. Direct seeding, of course, is not going to be impacted by the frost, but how quickly the seeds germinate is really going to be based on the temperature of the soil. And let's just round it off, finishing out here or down here with the peas. The peas all look great. So this is a list of some of the cool weather crops that can take a freeze, take a frost, with examples of before and after. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com. Please subscribe. I'll teach you how to grow food, how to plant up this entire garden, how to save money, and how to have some fun. Again, thanks for watching.